Welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin lover, a history buff, or just curious about numismatics, you're in the right place. Today, we're taking a close look at a truly iconic piece from down under the 1984 Australian 50-cent coin in rust, circulated fine condition. We're going to uncover its history, explore what it's made of, see why collectors love it, dig into its current market value in US dollars, and wrap up with helpful tips for anyone who's collecting coins like this. Let's dive in! When you hold a 1984 Australian 50-cent piece in your hand, you're holding more than just metal, you're holding a piece of history. The 50-cent denomination itself is special, first introduced in 1966, when Australia transitioned from pounds to the decimal system. It quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in everyday use. The 1984 issue carries with it both nostalgia and cultural significance, especially for people who grew up in Australia during the 80s. Now, the coin we're talking about today is in rust-circulated fine condition, which means it's seen some real life. You'll notice a surface wear, perhaps a warm patina or light rust tones, but the details are still clear enough that the design and features are unmistakable. Far from being a blemish, this kind of character adds charm. It tells a story of being in pockets, cash registers, and maybe even tucked away in a jar for years. For many collectors, a rust-circulated coin captures the authentic beauty of everyday use in a way uncirculated pieces never can. Let's talk about the look and composition of this coin. The 1984 Australian 50 cent is famously shaped like a dodecagon. That's a 12-sided geometric wonder. Its large, distinctive shape makes it instantly recognizable, and for many, it's one of the most beloved coins in the Australian series. Composition-wise, this coin is made of cupronickel, which is an alloy of copper and nickel. Cupronickel has been used in coins for decades because it's durable, resists corrosion, and carries a pleasing silvery color. Over time, when exposed to the environment, this alloy can take on those warm, rust-tinged hues that give circulated coins unique personalities. In fact, many collectors actively seek out coins with attractive toning or patina. It makes each piece feel truly one of a kind. So why do collectors care about this coin? Well, demand for the 1984 Australian 50 cent stems from several places. First, the 50 cent denomination itself has always been a fan favorite. Its size and design make it stand out in any collection. Second, the 1984 mintage is significant yet not overwhelming, which means there aren't endless quantities out there, especially in well-preserved condition. And finally, coins that show natural circulation wear, like our rust-circulated fine condition example, often appeal to people who want historical authenticity rather than pristine perfection. There's also an emotional element. Many collectors have fond memories of using these very coins as kids. Maybe they saved them in piggy banks, or maybe they were the first 50 cents someone ever earned. That nostalgia drives demand and gives the coin special meaning beyond its metal content. Now let's talk about the part many of you are curious about: market value in US dollars. As of today's coin market, a 1984 Australian 50 cent in fine condition with rust and natural circulation typically ranges in value depending on a few factors: overall eye appeal, how even the wear is, and how attractive the toning appears. In general, collectors are currently paying anywhere from a few dollars up to around $45,000, $75,000 for pieces in this condition. Some particularly appealing examples with balanced wear and pleasant coloration can fetch even a bit more among enthusiasts. Keep in mind that coin values fluctuate with collector interest, overall market trends, and even where the coin is being sold. Local coin shows, online auctions, and dedicated numismatic marketplaces can all yield slightly different prices. But overall, this is a coin with steady demand and reliable value, especially if you enjoy collecting rather than just investing. If you're thinking about collecting Australian 50-cent pieces or building out an entire series, here are some tips that can help you make smart choices. First, take the time to assess condition honestly. Coins with too much damage or heavy corrosion can lose value quickly. But coins with light, natural wear, and attractive toning often have more collector appeal. Second, consider sourcing from reputable dealers or coin shows where you can actually see and handle the coin before purchasing. This helps avoid surprises and ensures you know exactly what you're getting. Third, think about how you want to store your coins. Proper storage like acid-free holders, flips, or albums will protect them and maintain their value over time. And finally, don't underestimate the joy of learning about the stories behind each coin. The history, the minting process, and the changing designs all add depth and meaning to your collection. So there you have it, the 1984 Australian 50-cent coin in rust circulated. Fine condition is a fascinating little piece with real history, eye-catching character, solid collector interest, and an accessible market value that makes it a joy to own and trade. Whether you're just starting out or already deep into coin collecting, this humble 50-cent piece has something to offer. Next up, today we're diving into the fascinating world of one of Australia's most iconic coins, the 1971 Australia 50 cents coin, especially those in very fine condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector, just beginning your coin journey, or simply curious about rare and valuable currency, you're in the right place. Let's start with the history of this remarkable coin. The Australia 50 cents coin first entered circulation in 1969, replacing the old round half dollar. By 1971, this stunning coin had already captured the attention of both everyday Australians and collectors around the world. What makes the 1971 issue truly special is not just its age, but the story it carries. Minted during a period of transformation when decimal currency was still relatively new in Australia, this coin represents a unique moment in history. It invited Australians to embrace a modern monetary system while still honoring beautiful, traditional craftsmanship. Talking about craftsmanship, let's explore the design and composition of this treasure. The Australian 50 cents coin from 1971 features the famous coat of arms on the reverse with the majestic kangaroo and emu flanking a shield that represents the 6 states of Australia. On the obverse, you'll find the classic profile of Queen Elizabeth II, an iconic image loved by collectors worldwide. Unlike the later coins we're used to seeing today, the original 50 cents from this era was round and made from a copper-nickel alloy. This gave it a satisfying weight and a distinctive silvery shine that's instantly recognizable. The metal composition and round shape make it stand out in any coin collection, a true classic. Now, let's talk about collector demand, because demand is what really brings magic to coin collecting. The 1971 Australian 50 cents coin is particularly sought after not just for its beauty and age, but because it represents a relatively early issue in Australia's decimal era. Collectors love coins in very fine condition because they retain more of the details from minting. That means the design is crisp, the images are clear, and the overall appeal is high. For many collectors, finding a 1971 Australian 50 cents coin in very fine or higher grade feels like discovering a piece of history that still shines today. This increased desirability helps maintain strong interest in the market, especially among collectors who focus on classic Australian coins or complete decimal sets. So, what is the current market value of a 1971 Australia 50 cents coin in very fine condition? Prices can vary depending on where you buy or sell, but generally, these coins trade in a range that reflects both their age and collector interest. As of today, a 1971 Australian 50 cents coin in very fine condition often sells for about $1.40, $0 to $1.50, $0 depending on the specific grade and buyer interest. Some coins that show exceptional eye appeal or have minimal wear can even attract slightly higher prices. This positive and stable value makes the coin a wonderful addition to any collection, and a reminder that classic coins can stay valuable over many decades. If you're a collector, here are a few tips to help you make the most of your coin collecting journey. First, always pay attention to coin condition, even small details matter. A coin that is well preserved with clear features will always be more desirable than one that's worn or damaged. Next, take your time to learn grading standards. Understanding what makes a coin very fine versus extremely fine or uncirculated will help you make smart buying and selling decisions. There are excellent grading guides and videos available online that can help you understand this in a fun and visual way. And lastly, always treat your coins with care. Store them in protective holders. Keep them out of direct sunlight and avoid touching the surfaces with bare fingers. Good care not only preserves their condition, it protects their value for many years to come. In conclusion, the Australia 50 cents 1971 coin in very fine condition is more than just a piece of metal. It's a piece of history, a beautiful work of art, and a collectible gem that continues to charm enthusiasts around the globe. Its unique design, solid composition, historical significance, and steady market value make it a joy for both beginner and advanced collectors. Next up, today we're diving into a really special piece of Australian numismatic history, the 1998 Australia 50 cent coin commemorating the 200th anniversary of the Voyage of Bass and Flinders. This coin is meaningful not just because it's a cool design, but because it celebrates explorers who helped shape Australia's history, and today we're going to explore every aspect of this coin from its story and physical makeup to how it's valued in the market today and what collectors should know. Let's get into it! This coin was issued in 1998 to celebrate the bicentenary of the historic voyage by George Bass and Matthew Flinders. In 1798, these two explorers set out on the small boat Norfolk and circumnavigated what was then known as Van Diemen's Land, now Tasmania. Their journey proved that this landmass was actually an island, separated from the Australian mainland by a strait of water, later named Bass Strait, in honor of George Bass. This discovery was a major milestone in Australian exploration. Australian coins. The reverse of the coin captures that spirit beautifully, featuring portraits of Bass and Flinders alongside a map depicting the route they took around Tasmania. The designer, Vladimir Gottwald, gave us a visual tribute that's both historic and artistic. Australian coins. When we talk about condition, this is where value really starts to vary. A coin straight from circulation might be nice, but it could show wear from everyday use. However, a very fine or even uncirculated example where details are crisp and original luster remains is far more desirable among collectors. Uncirculated pieces often come in special packaging from the Royal Australian Mint and are much rarer to find in. Now let's talk about what this coin is worth today in US dollars. Because the standard 1998 Australian 50 cent Bass and Flinders issue was released into general circulation with a fairly high mintage over typical circulated coins, often sell for modest prices on auction sites. Most examples you'll find today in regular condition tend to trade from about a few US dollars up to maybe $1.20, $1,001.55, $0 or so depending on condition. So if you're starting your collection or thinking about selling, here are some positive tips to maximize your enjoyment and potential value. First, always check the coin's condition. Shine, scratches, and wear matter a lot. Even small surface differences can impact price. Second, try to store your coins in protective holders or albums so they stay as close to uncirculated as possible. Third, do your research. Compare prices from multiple sellers so you know what a fair market value looks like. Collectors are typically fair, but prices online can vary widely. And finally, consider getting higher-grade examples certified by a reputable grading service if you think you have something particularly special that can really help highlight quality and potentially attract serious collectors. All in all, the 1998 Bass and Flinders 50 cent coin is a coin that's easy to appreciate whether you're a casual enthusiast or a serious collector. It carries a meaningful story from Australia's past, has a classic look, and continues to be a sought-after commemorative piece. Whether you already have one in your collection, found one in change, or are thinking about getting one, this coin has something special to offer.